Hi, I'm glad to present to you the Masteraria series of electrical panels for air handling units. It's a range which covers air handling units with motors up to 15 kilowatts. So far there are three models. The standard Masteraria, which manages fans up to 15 kilowatts. The standard comes in two models with one dimension, meaning to say just one box, one size. The two models are one that covers fans up to 5.5 kilowatts and one that covers fans at up to 15 kilowatt motors. These can be supply and extract fans. There is a third additional contactor instead, which is single phase 230 volts, with which you can power supply heat recovery modules, the lights inside your handling units, or anything else like power sockets for laptops and other things. There is a splitter which allows you to connect a remote display if you want to. The box is entirely weatherproof, it's IP65, so is suitable for an outdoor installation, and is also fitted with a relay which can cut completely power to the contactors in case of a fire alarm. This is an additional safety to what already equipped by the digital inputs fire alarm to the controller, which will do the same thing but via software. The control panel is equipped with a Pico 3 controller which has an embedded software code to manage the NXL bacon drives via the Modbus. It's quite a nice fancy feature that will allow you to save quite a lot of money in wirings. The electrical panel is can be interfaced to any BMS with all the open protocols available by the Pico Sistema Product Family. It features a Pico 3 medium controller which can give you 8 analog inputs, 4 analog outputs. So it's a fairly decent large controller for a typical standard air handling unit. It features also a transformer. The panel has got a double door, like all the Masteraria panels. You can see here on the top right hand side the transformer, the terminal block for all your field wirings connections. You can see the Pico 3 medium on the left, and the MCB overloads for the fans and the 3 contactors for the 2 fans plus the auxiliary, and the isolator switch. Here on the bottom right hand side you will have the extra terminals through which you can seek power supply for chillers, DX units, heat pumps, or even humidifiers without having to provide a separate power lead. There is a wiring diagram sticker on the door of the stuck on the door of the panel, so you don't get the bad luck of losing it. On the right hand side of the next on the door you will find the splitter for a remote display connection. Here you see the snap-on MCB inserts, which are optional because you can select the appropriate size that will match the exact power consumption of your fans. The door can be completely removed, and that is all about the Masteraria Standard. The Deluxe instead has got the same features of the same sizes of the Masteraria Standard, but instead of a Pico 3 controller it features a Pico 5 with a built-in USB port. So the box is a little bit bigger, so allows for more room to integrate and add additional modules which you may be required on specific jobs to add to the panel. As I said, it contains a Pico 3 medium which has got the same identical inputs and outputs of the Pico 3. However, it has got a built-in BMS RS485 port for Modbus communication and a field port embedded for the inverter integration. It also has a plexiglass protection cover to protect the high voltage components like MCB and contactors, which you can see here on the top, onto the back plate. So you can see the Pico 5 controller, the transformer. Here you have the MCB overloads and the contactors. The disconnect switch is always in the center of the panel, and here on the left you have the disconnect switch, the terminal blocks, and this is the plexiglass protection cover. The Masteraria Maxi instead has got the same identical construction and components of the Masteraria Deluxe. However, the contactors and the MCB overloads are rated for motors up to 30 kilowatts. Now, we have introduced a new range, a new cost-effective line of products in the air handling unit panels, which is the Masteraria Lite, which will cover fans up to 15 kilowatts, like all the other electrical panels. However, and still comes on two models with one dimension, 5.5 kilowatts and 15, to manage still two fans, supply and extract, and an extra contactor for all those auxiliaries, these devices which we've spoken about earlier on. The difference are that has got a compact enclosure compared to the Masteraria Standard, has got no contactors for fans, so you would typically you would seek power supply for your inverter straight off the circuit breakers. You have a Pico 3 small controller instead of a medium, so it's got a slightly less amount of inputs and outputs, however still enough to cover a medium size air handling unit. The remote display connection, the T-Con splitter, to connect a remote display is optional and does not have a third-party power feed terminals for what we were saying earlier on for humidifiers and condensing units. The great thing of this panel is that it is very cost aggressive, and it is about 25% cheaper than the Masteraria Standard. It is a double door panel, like you see here. You see the controller on the top left hand side, the transformer, the terminal block. You have the MCB fans overloads, and the only contactor present on this panel for the lightings or third-party single-phase power supply. You could remove that and put a power socket if you wish. Then you also have and then the isolator, rated just for the maximum size of the two 5.5 or 15 kilowatts fans. You can interface all the range of Masteraria panels with electric coils for Thyristor controls, which are IP55, which have got their own internal heat dissipation fans, and they are all equipped with a solid-state relay elements. The integration with the Masteraria panels is very simple. There are dedicated terminals for the integration with these electric coils panels, add-ons. There is a safety interlink with into the panel to allow the contactors to light up only when an enable is being given by the panel or eventually by the airflow switch. The sizes go up to 72 kilowatts